This is feedback for Yasmeen on her bonus essay. Generally, Yasmeen, I think you're doing a fantastic job and you're understanding things that I'm telling you and you're applying them, so great job. You're an advanced student, so don't be discouraged that I'm going not giving a lot of praise. I'm not saying like, oh, this is great, this is great, this is great, because you're doing most of the things are great. So the things that I'm gonna pick on with you are little things that make it even better. These are little things that like your undergraduate teacher would be like, why is she making this mistake and she's so smart, you know? So I don't want you to get in that position. So that's why I'm getting on these things. So, but I will say, great intro. I think you did a great job of giving, facts, and then you switch it around with all these causes, and you give the opposite the causes, and then you talk about the effects. Very good job, and I would like you to explain your essay to the rest of the class. What did you do? What are you thinking when you're doing this? Why did you make this sentence here? Why did you make this sentence here? Explain this in Arabic because um, I can see that you understand what I'm trying to tell the rest of the class, but a lot of people aren't understanding it. So I'm gonna want you to do that for me sometime this week. So little things, capitals in the titled paragraphs, title of anything. The main words should be capital. You don't capitalize the small prepositional words or the or anything like that. But these larger words, more important words, we make those capital. And abroad is one word too. So that's another thing. And that's another small thing that I saw a lot in your paper. I'm skipping around here. Word choice. In your paper, you said Coke instead of cook. You said department instead of apartments. And in paragraph 2, you said management instead of manage in paragraph 2. So these are little things, but you have to start getting those things straight, because this is something that when somebody sees your essay, even though you have a great essay and have great ideas, if they see these little mistakes, it makes them say, oh, like, is she really that good? Like here, departments, you meant apartments. Here, you said Coke instead of cook. Uh, Things like that. So those are things that, and this stuff comes over time. You just got to do more reading, more listening to English, and that'll come over time. Same thing with run-on sentences. You have a lot of run-on sentences here. I said full stops are your friend. So let's find one. So you're using a lot of commas in here. So like here you say, for example, students will clean every part in their departments, their apartments, without any help from the housemaid as a result. So here there should be a full stop, a period, right? And it should be a new sentence right here. So as a result, that should be a new sentence. So you really need to go through your essay and find those little mistakes. This is an essay where you had time to like correct the grammar, so this is the things that you should be able to find on your own. Um, when you're writing an in-class essay, grammar's not as important because it's kind of hard. But when you write an essay for your teacher, you're writing it at home, you have time to stop and reread it. Make sure you have your full stops where they go. When you read it out loud, it helps with doing that. So when you say the sentence, you say, okay, that feels like it should be a pause right here. Let me put a period here. Okay, so some advanced things since you're advanced, I want you to, your paper to be even better. There's a thing that I tell students is most sins wins. What does that mean? The synonyms. Most synonyms wins. So synonyms, if you forgot, are different word, same meaning. So this just shows you have a very advanced vocabulary if you can do this. So for example, in your topic sentence you said depend on themselves. So these are just other ways that you can say what you're saying here. So abroad learn how to depend on themselves. Okay, so that's one way to say it. But in this paragraph, you're going to be repeating that a lot. So instead of saying the same thing, depend on themselves, depend on themselves, depend on themselves, try to think of other ways of saying that same thing. So for example, be more independent, be more responsible, be able to take care of themselves, teaches them how to be dependent, manage their things better, etc. Um, Studying in another country. This is the other next paragraph, the next second body paragraph. Studying in another country is studying in a foreign country. Oh, I was just saying, instead of just saying studying abroad throughout the essay, I was saying that you can say it in different ways. Studying in another country, studying in a foreign country, studying outside of their home country. Things like this. It's a small thing, but it shows that you have a mastery of the language. So I want you to start working on these type of things. And finally, the last thing that another advanced thing that I want you to do is give more advanced advice. I mean, if we go down to your conclusion here, you say parents should give their children a chance to realizing their dreams. Students have to study hard and they should be studied. What does that have to do with what you wrote in your essay? Something more advanced. Think about a rebuttal or of the best counter argument. What does that mean? So here's an example of some advanced advice. Parents should try out short-term study abroad programs like summer programs to see if their children can handle it. This will solve the problem for many students who are not able to handle studying abroad and end up dropping out due to poor grades or behavior. So again, the best counter argument to students studying abroad is that when students study abroad, they can't do it themselves and they drop out. So you, in your advice, should give a rebuttal, meaning you go against this point. So if they say that students will drop out, then you give some advice like this, where you say, well, okay, well, students, parents should allow their students to first do a study abroad, a short-term study abroad program, like during the summer in England or somewhere, so that students can get a taste of it. They can see if they can handle it. The parents can see if their children did well, they can handle it. And if the students do well, then the parents can send them off for college and study abroad in college. And then you show the result. As a result, people will be able, the students will be very more successful because they were able to try it out and then they did it later and they were successful. So these are just a couple tips. Again, the things like capitals, word choice, and run-on sentences, these things will take time for you to get better at. Don't worry about them. You won't be perfect at them before this essay this next week. But these things you can fix before the essay. Be more advanced. Most sins wins. You can do that before this essay. So if you want to fix these things and re-upload it, that's fine with me. I'll check it again. I think we have a couple days before it's due. Good job.